Hello and welcome to Norbrock Stadium in beautiful Kamloops, BC for tonight's CCBC matchup between the Thompson Rivers University Wolfpack and the Vancouver Island Baseball Institute Mariners. Tonight's ball game is the second half of a doubleheader between these two teams. The first one going in the way of the Wolfpack. We'll bring you just how that game looked because it was a doozy throughout this ball game, and it's going to be for the Wolfpack this evening. They're going to start Tyler Moskalik on the hill. Unfortunately, we don't have a lineup just yet, so we'll bring the defensive alignment for the Wolfpack shortly. But leading off for the Mariners this evening is going to be Devin Heck. He's your left fielder this evening. So he'll set in there against Moskalik, and we'll get this ball game underway. Moskalik has a sign, and we're underway here at Norbrock Stadium. First pitch is a fastball right down the middle, and Moskalik starts exactly how he wants. Up, one strike. As I said, that first game this evening, if you're just tuning in, unfortunately our first game had some technical difficulties, so we weren't able to bring that ball game to you. As the catcher heads out to the mound for an early mound visit in this ball game to go over the signs. We weren't able to bring that one to you again because of some technical difficulties, so here's what you missed, and it was a doozy. So the Wolfpack jumped out on the strike of 4 runs in the first 2 innings with a 4-0 lead, but the Mariners countered back in the top of the third to score 2, making that a 4-2 game, and the teams would stay that way for the next 3 innings, with the Wolfpack getting some insurance later on to go into a 5-3 lead, and they took that 5-3 lead into the 9th inning, where Tyler Hodder, who was starting for the Wolfpack, remained on the mound all the way in the 9th inning, but unfortunately squandered that lead before he was pulled from the ball game with it tied. Pitch misses from Moskalik, 1-1. So again, pardon me, he left that ball game actually. He entered the 9th with the game tied and then left with the Wolfpack down, who were then able to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th. This ball's popped up in the infield. It's going to be hauled in there. And the first out will go the way of the Wolfpack here in the bottom of the first inning. Yeah, so the Wolfpack entered the 9th inning. They were down 2 runs. They're able to rally. It was a Vance Fode's single that tied up that ball game. And then the Wolfpack were able to rally again, send a pinch runner to second base. And then a single by Malik James ended in some tension as the runner was thrown out of the plate. And leading in all that sort of tension, leading into a brawl between both VI and TRU, which then led to a pair of ejections. And those ejections then took us into the 10th inning, where the Mariners would rally, take a lead, and be in that ball game. But then the Wolfpack, they just weren't going away on this night, as they were able to win this ball game in the bottom of the 10th inning on a huge 2-out rally. So that takes us into the second half of the doubleheader. Moskalik has jumped out to an 0-2 count. It's Dylan Kirby batting for the Mariners, and he checks the swing, but the umpire said he went all the way around. That's going to be the second out. Liam Balance has entered in the game. He's now hitting. You got it. Thank you. Moskalik is ahead early with a strike. Top of the first here in Norbrock Stadium. There's 2 out. Moskalik set. He paints the outside corner there for strike number 2. It's a cool but not too crisp evening here in Kamloops. should be playable for these two teams. It's a late start after the extra inning game in the first half of the doubleheader. That pitch is going to be just outside. We saw the umpire in the first game kind of favor that outside corner. Not so much here in game number 2. And it's a 1-2 count now to bounce. Miskalik doing a good job of getting those first strikes early. It's a check swing from Balance. The check over the first base umpire. He elects to say he did not swing. The count goes to 2-2. Tanner Hess is on deck for VIBI. Miskalik has his sign and he comes set. Oh, it looked like he had him on the outside corner there. Umpire thinks otherwise, and we have a full count here. Three-two, 2 out, top of the first. Fouled off. Balance stays alive. Good at bat here in the first part of the ball game. You always want to make that starting pitcher throw a lot of strikes in the first half. Miskalik delivers. It's chopped in front of the plate. Oh, it's going to be a fair ball. Flip to first, and there's the first out of the inning. We'll be right back after a short break. You're watching the Wolfpack take on the Mariners. And we're back here with the CCBC matchup between the Wolfpack and the Mariners. It's going to be Josh Hillis leading things off for the Wolfpack. He's going to be facing Brock Withrow, who's making his 6th start of the season for the Mariners. Withrow's first pitch looks like a changeup, and that's going to paint the outside corner. Strike one. Hillis leading things off, playing right field for the Wolfpack tonight. Sun slowly setting to camera right. Withrow deals. It's going to be taken low for ball number 1. 1-1 count. Withrow, like I said, making his 5th start of this season. He's got a 4.94 ERA with a 1.61 walks per innings pitch, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. Cut off. Oh, a nice pick attempt at first base. Well, that's going to be an infield single for Josh Hillis. Let's see how they score it, and it will be a hit. You never know. Sometimes those ones go the way of an error in the scorebook, but Hillis is 1 for 1. And with that, Liam Rahela will enter the game. Rahela playing shortstop this evening for the Wolfpack. Rahela digs in. Withrow starts him off with a fastball for strike number 1. That's chopped on and hit off to second base. It's hauled in. Recovery by Withrow, but that ball is going to go all the way to the backstop. Both runners are going to advance. Hillis is thinking about scoring. Nobody was at home plate. The first baseman finally comes to tracks down. Pardon me, that's Withrow coming from the pitcher's mound. And on that shore error, it's going to be second and third, nobody out for the Wolfpack. Withrow is in trouble early. Never quite seemed sure of it. And that ball ended up going to the backstop. Matt Pidlasecki is digging in here. He's hitting third this evening for the Wolfpack. Uses a leg kick and takes strike number 1. Pidlasecki did not play in the first half of this doubleheader. Chopped up in the middle. It's going to be rolled in by the second baseman. He's going to throw him out at first, but that will score a run. It's an early quality at-bat for the Wolfpack, and they pick up this ballgame's first run. It's 1-0 in the bottom of the first, and that brings up big Vance Fode, who had that all-important 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 9th in the first half of this doubleheader to send it to extras. Let's see what he can do here. He's got a runner at third with 1 out. Good RBI situation. We saw last week the Okanagan College Coyotes play Vance Fode with something known as an extreme shift. He takes a ball high and outside, ball number 1. That would send the shortstop over to the second base side of the base. The third baseman takes that shortstop, and then the second baseman heads into shallow right field. And that's just because Vance Fode is the guy who likes to hit the ball that way, and they're going to cut down any opportunity he has to hit it there and take anything that he'll hit the other way. But the Mariners decide they're going to play him straight up in this situation. Fode fouls this ball off. It's 1-1. Shakes his head. Fode, a key RBI man for the Wolfpack early on in this season. He's going to take ball number 2. That's a good eye. Ball's flared in a shallow left field. Let's see if they're going to send the runner. And they're going to send him. It's going to be a play at the plate. That's a great throw, but it's not able to be caught, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly for Vance Fode. Head coach Ray Chadwick getting aggressive early and sending the runner on a shallow fly ball to left field, but all for good as the Wolfpack take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Always interesting to see what third base coaches decide on those shallow fly balls. Sometimes, you've got a guy who you want to see him make a couple throws. So you're going to see what he can do, and he delivered a great one there. But it wasn't able to be hauled in by the catcher, and it's an early lead for the Wolfpack. And that's going to bring up Adam Philman to the dish, center fielder. Willman is going to get jammed and roll out one of the second basemen who collects, fires over to first. And that's it for the bottom of the first. But the Wolfpacks, they're going to strike twice and take a 2-0 lead into the top of the second. We'll be right back. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium, bringing you the Wolfpack taking on the Mariners in some CCBC baseball action on this Saturday evening. First pitch from Tyler Muskalik is going to paint the outside corner, strike number one. Muskalik working on a great first inning. Is now pitching to Tanner Hess, second baseman for the Mariners. Muskalik comes set and delivers. Strike number two. He's working that outside corner fantastically in the first half of this ballgame. Pitchers so effective when they live out there. See if you can keep it going. Muskalik 3 in a row, and Hess goes down looking. Out number one. That's going to bring up Phil Whelan to the dish for the Mariners. Whelan digs in, facing Muskalik. Muskalik takes a strike. 0-1. And if game two is any sort of encore from game one, then we're in for a good one. That first game was awesome. Muskalik goes to the curveball that time. Equally effective. 0-2. Muskalik comes set. Delivers. Strike three. 6 pitches. 6 pitches. 2 strikeouts for Tyler Muskalik. We got 2 outs here in the top of the second. That's going to bring up Bowden Bideweg in the game for the Mariners. Bideweg swings through strike one. Muskalik again ahead. I think he's been ahead of all the hitters he's faced this evening. Muskalik delivers. It's going to be strike number 2. Bideweg was right on that one. Anytime you see a batter foul a ball straight back, he means he was right on it. Just missed that one, but the timing was perfect. Muskalik, not one to deliver that one again, gets a new baseball. And he comes set here with an 0-2 count. Muskalik looking to strike out the side. He's got an 0-2 count here on Bideweg. And he strikes him out. Folks, that is the most impressive inning you're ever going to see. He had a little something to say to the Mariners dugout, so keep an eye on that one. But it's 9 pitches and 3 strikeouts for Muskalik. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium, bringing you the Wolfpack and the Mariners, some CCBC action here on a Saturday night. The Wolfpack out to a 2-0 lead here very early in this ballgame. So we head into the bottom of the second. It's going to be Josh Schneider leading things off for the Wolfpack. Moses Lake, Washington native. He's going to dig in. Withrow delivers strike number 1, and he jumps out to an early 0-1 count. It's going to be grounded to the shortstop. That's going to be hauled in, thrown to first for a quick out number 1. That's going to bring Cole Packin up to the plate for the Wolfpack, trying to get something started with 1 out. Withrow, a good first out on a bounce-back inning that he needs, try to get his hitters back in the dugout. See if the Mariners can chip into that lead. But first, it's going to be Packin. He's going to take a strike. Packin down 0-1. Withrow, establishing that first pitch strike. All important for pitchers to make that happen. Withrow with the overhead delivery. That's going to be fouled off. Packin just a little too ahead of that one. Withrow here, working on an 0-2 count. He delivers. Elects for the slider that time, and that's going to be called a ball. It's too high. Withrow establishing the fastball for a strike early and then working on his breaking pitches to get the strikeouts. Works back with the fastball, but that's going to miss high. 2-2. Nice piece of blocking there by the Mariners. Goes for not as it's a 3-2 count. Packin, who is down 0-2 in this one, doing a great job to work it to a full count. The 3-2 from Withrow is up and in, and Packin works a first pitch, a 1-out walk. And that brings Josh Ionetti up to the dish. He's going to be catching this evening. Give Connor McKenzie a little bit of a break. He caught all 10 innings of this one. Ionetti did not play in the first half of this doubleheader. He's got a foul one. Looked like it had a chance to sneak in on the fair side of that third base, but didn't quite get there. 0-1. Ionetti looks to third base coach Ray Chadwick for a sign. He's going to dig back in. Not a big lead from Packin over there at first base. Withrow deals. It's going to be inside. Ball number 1. 1-1 count. All ones on the scoreboard right now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Withrow looks in for a sign. Checks the runner. Swung on, up the middle. That's going to go off the foot of Withrow. Collected by the shortstop. He's going to throw over to first. That's a great play. And an even better pick at first base. It's going to be 2 out with the runner now in scoring position for the Wolfpack. The Mariners are going to go out there and check on Withrow, see how he's doing. Who gives a little look out to a shortstop saying thank you very much for picking that one out. That's a funky one to score. That's a 1-6-3 coming off the pitcher's foot. And that brings the number 9 hitter for the Wolfpack to the plate. It's going to be Zach Como. See what he can do with a 2 out and runner in scoring position situation. As Como digs in against Withrow. Takes an early ball inside. 1-0. Scoring that runner with 2 out, but they're in scoring position. One of the more important things you can do in baseball. It's going to go down as a quad or a quality at bat. And managers love that. Let's see what he can do with the 1-0. It's going to be taken high. Ball number 2, 2-0. Hitters count for Zach Como. Always used to have coaches tell me to look for a pitch in a box. That's when they'd love to unwrap and hit into a gap. If you're into kind of rhyming things. Como takes ball number 3. Withrow. Perhaps wanting to turn that lineup over and see Josh Hillis for a second time. He's down 3-0. Got to be strategic with their pitches here. Don't want to give him anything to hit. Let's see, too, if Como has the green light 3-0. And he does not, but no need, as it's ball number 4, and he's going to take his base. Bringing Josh Hillis back to the plate. Hillis singled and scored in the first inning. Looking to keep that streak alive. Big spot here for Withrow to get his team back in the dugout without scoring any runs here in the bottom of the second. Here's Josh Hillis. He takes a pitch inside for strike number 1. Just caught the corner. Hillis is going to swing and hit that one through the 4-3 hole. It's going to be charged by the right fielder. This could be close to the plate. And that ball's instead just going to be cut off. It's a 3-0 lead for the Wolfpack, who look absolutely fired up over that extra inning win in Game 1. Looking to make quick work of the Mariners. It's already 3-0. That sends Liam Rahela into the batter's box. He ended up on second after the second baseman threw into the backstop in his first time up at the plate. Rahela is now ahead. Or pardon me, he's in a tied count at 1-1 as Withrow misses outside with the fastball for ball number 1. Withrow misses outside again for ball number 2. It's now 2-1. As I was saying, Rahela hit a ball to the second baseman last time and ended up all the way to the backstop, and it ended up being second and third. The Wolfpack were able to score both those runs in the first inning. Big 2-1 swing from Rahela, and it's now 2-2 as he swings out through that one. 2-2 with 2 out in the bottom of the second. Withrow looking to keep the damage on the mound as just 1 earned run this inning. Withrow delivers. That's going to be outside. And with that 3-2 out count, the runners are going to be activated, as they say. Getting a head start and a ball in the gap, something to keep in mind. Big pitch here from Withrow. That's going to be inside. Not quite sure if that ended up hitting Rahela or not. Looks like it did not. But anyway, the bases, no matter what, will be loaded with 2 out for Matt Pidlasecki. Pidlasecki with an opportunity to absolutely break this ball game open with a big swing here. Mariners outfielders pretty much straight up, maybe on the deep side. Withrow delivers. It's going to be outside for ball number 1. And the Wolfpack again jump out ahead in the count. Withrow in this latter half of the bottom of the second has started to miss with his pitches just that little bit. It's going to be ball in the dirt. And it's 2-0, a big hitter's count for Matt Pidlasecki in this tough 2 out bases loaded spot. Always so important to score runs early. Well, that's actually going to be a balk. The first base umpire had that one nailed, and he seemed 100% sure of that one. So every runner, including the runner on third, is going to advance a base. Going to run for the Wolfpack, who now take a 4-0 lead. Unfortunately, folks, I missed that one. Second base umpire telling Withrow exactly what he did. Balk is anytime you're up on that mound and you do something to deceive the runners that are running the bases. Unfortunately, you can't sort of move your shoulders once you're standing in this position like Withrow is now. Now that he steps off, he can do whatever he likes, as you see him go ahead and chat with the second base umpire, who continues to prove his point. Withrow clearly in disagreement, and can't say I blame him. Why would you ever think you did commit a balk? But as they say, that's just the way she goes, as Withrow now in an even tougher spot where ground ball can't get him 2 outs. It's going to be swung on and lofted into center field. Shortstop, second base converging on it, but it's going to be hauled in. That's going to be the third out of the inning, but the Wolfpack double their lead and take a 4-0 advantage into the top of the third. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Norbrock Stadium as we're bringing you some CCBC baseball this evening. It's the Thompson Rivers University Wolfpack that have a 4-0 lead over the VIBI Mariners. It's going to be the DH Matt Johnson checking in against a Tyler Miskalik on the mound, who has been absolutely phenomenal for the first 2 innings of this ball game. But in the top of the third, he starts out Johnson with the ball for ball number 1. First time I think we've seen him fall behind a batter at all this evening, as he's been so lights out. Comes right back with a fastball, gets a swing and a miss from Johnson. And Miskalik immediately evens count. As the sun there sets behind the mountains to our right side, it has gotten a little bit cooler out here in Norbrock Stadium, as these evening games do tend to go. On the mound, though, Miskalik misses just outside with ball number 2. Pats himself on the chest as if to say, my bad. But he'll get the ball back and be able to come right back at Johnson, who's DHing this ball game after not appearing in the first inning. And that's going to be up and in for ball number 3. Miskalik, after being absolutely lights out in the first 2 innings, in danger of walking a leadoff hitter, he takes a little bit of a lap behind the mound to collect himself, rub some dirt off that baseball, and he's right back in there, set to deliver the 5th pitch of this at-bat. Miskalik blows a fastball right past him. 3-2 to leadoff hitter Johnson. An all-important 3-2 pitch to the leadoff batter at the top of the third. Miskalik paints the outside corner. Ooh, the catcher, you could tell. Pidlasecki had that ball ready to throw it to third. Does not get the call, however. Pardon me, that's Josh Ionetti behind the dish. Ionetti looked to fire that one to third base on the called strike number 3, but he is not going to get it. Peanut Gallery out in full effect. Not sure if you picked that one up, but Some vocal parents out here, and you love to see that. It's going to be Lucas Galloway up to the plate. He's catching in this ball game this evening. Galloway swings right through. Strike number 1. You see Josh Schneider there at first base going for the balaclava, and I can't say I blame him. It's a chilly one this evening. Now that the sun has set. I had higher hopes when that sun was setting. What's really cool right now is that it's going to be a bit of a makeup call there. I think that one barely caught the inside corner. You can see Galloway kind of look up, but all the same, it's strike number 2. Muskalik seems to have found his form back. Now pitching out of the set rather than the full with that runner on first base. It's a pretty big lead over there at first. No pickoff move, however. And this ball's going to be swung through for strike number 3. That's another strikeout for Muskalik. Out number 1. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Tyler Ulrich, for the Mariners. Ulrich, a big player for the Mariners in the first half of this doubleheader. Ulrich takes strike number 1. Stop me if you've heard that one before. And it's 0-1. Muskalik is so effective so far early in this ballgame. Ooh, a bunt attempt there. Oh, and I think they had some sort of play on that's going to go for naught. So the Mariners trying a little bunt and run. The signs, though, lost in translation somewhere. We had a base runner stranded. Nice play there by Josh Ioannidis behind the dish to see that one. Fire that ball over to first base. And we got a caught stealing for out number 2. And just like that, it's an 0-2 pitch coming from Muskalik. He's got a chance to close the book on the top of the 3rd. Instead, it's going to be grounded to 3rd, but that will be it for the top of the 3rd. The Mariners got their first base runner, but that goes for naught, as it's still a 4-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back to Norbrock Stadium. The Wolfpack, who are leading off the bottom of the 3rd here, have a 4-0 lead in this ball game. And it's going to be Big Vance Fode that looks to add to that. DH, who had a sac fly in his first at-bat of the ball game. Already 3 RBI in the 2 ends of this doubleheader. A good 5 at-bats or so worth of work for him. He's going to look to add to it here. Again, the Mariners elect to just play him straight up. Swung on by Fode. It's jammed a little bit as the right fielder comes in to make a nice play, and it's out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Withrow. Exactly how I would have wanted to start the bottom of the 3rd. Speaking of outfield, it's going to be the center fielder, Adam Philman, who's heading to the dish now for the Wolfpack. Philman in his first effort of the ball game, grounded out to the second base. Hasn't been busy in center field this ball game. Muskalik has much to do with that as he keeps striking everybody out, but he's going to take a strike for strike number 1. It's 0-1 to Philman. Withrow with that quirky overhead delivery misses for ball number 1. It's 1-1. Philman looking to get something started here with 1 out. Withrow delivers. Swung on by Philman. It's going to be a base hit right through the hole. Nice piece of hitting there. And that is going to bring Josh Snyder to the dish. Snyder grounded out to the second baseman. Pardon me, the shortstop in his first time up. Snyder getting a series of signs from head coach / third base coach Ray Chadwick, who then shakes out his arms. It's a chilly night, as I've been saying. Ray Chadwick feeling the effects of that one. Snyder, this time at the dish, is going to take a ball number 1. 1-0. Snyder's going to be looking to elevate a pitch here, stay out of the double play. Withrow trying to get him to do the exact opposite. Withrow sets and delivers. It's going to be ball number 1. Another series of signs from third base coach Ray Chadwick off screen. Snyder, another piece in the middle of the lineup for the Wolfpack, looking to drive in some runs. He's going to need an extra base here if he's going to do so. It's ball number 3. All 3 pitches missed in the same spot. And Withrow is in a big hole here with 1 out. See if Snyder has the green light. He does not, but doesn't need it as he takes ball number 4. Still with that balaclava on. He's going to head to first base. And a big early spot here for the Wolfpack, like I said, to absolutely break this ball game open. It's going to be Cole Pekin who's charged with those duties. Pekin walked and scored his first time up. Pekin takes a ball inside. 1-0. See the Mariners quite concerned with Philman there at second base. Withrow elects to get a different sign from his catcher, but now comes set. Withrow delivers a fastball on the inside part of the plate. It's going to be 1-1. 1-1, 1 out in a 4-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third at Norbrock Stadium. Second half of a doubleheader between the Thompson Rivers University Wolfpack and the Vancouver Island University Mariners. Swung on, but it's a foul tip from Pekin. Shakes his head at that one as he just missed it to bring it to a 1-2 count. It means he's going to have to slow down that swing, try to put a ball in play. Withrow, a third inning in a row with base runners on. Good block there. Hauled in by Galloway. Pekin steadies himself. Ready for this 2-2 pitch from Withrow. Withrow a long set. Concerned about Philman at second. Nothing doing, however. It's going to be ball number 3. Another 3-2 count. Withrow, man, he's thrown a lot of pitches early in this ball game. Something to keep in mind. No formal action in the Mariner bullpen, but there's a guy working on some bands, trying to get that arm loose. Philman takes off. It's a hit and run. Oh, that's an unlucky one for the Wolfpack. They have the hit and run going, and it's a slam line drive right to the third baseman, and that's a double play. We're going to go to the top of the 4th here. It's the Wolfpack into an unfortunate double play. We'll be right back after this. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium. CCBC baseball between the Wolfpack and the Mariners. Tyler Muskalik remains on the mound, as he should for the Wolfpack. He's been so good so far. Two-seam fastball in there for strike one. Paints the inside corner. So top of the lineup up for the Mariners. Devin Heck leading things off. Heck swings and hits a base hit in right field. That's the first hit of the ballgame for the Mariners. Heck is going to try to stretch this one into a double. No, he thinks better of it. A great job out there by Cole Pekin in right field to keep that ball in front of himself. It's always tough as a right fielder. You got to make the decision if you're going to try to take an extra little step and round that baseball or cut it off as Pekin did. Did a great job there to keep that runner at first. Heck with a leadoff single. Muskalik's first allowed of the ballgame. And that brings up Dylan Kirby, first baseman here for the Mariners. Muskalik gets his set. Delivers and paints the outside corner with a fastball. Strike one. Muskalik so good at getting ahead of batters. Continues this trend in the top of the fourth. It's a 4-0 ball game with the Wolfpack leading. After taking the first half of this doubleheader in exciting walk-off fashion. Heading into the 10th. Down a run, but scoring two. Muskalik misses with a fastball for strike number one. Mariners probably looking to manufacture a run here, down 4-0, try to cue a comeback. As they do with a hit and run. Good jump there from Heck, who was heading off, but was fouled off at the plate by Dylan Kirby. Kirby now in a 1-2 hole. Something still could be on for the Mariners, though, as it was a pretty good jump by Heck. Muskalik fairly quick to the plate. Mariners perhaps looking to steal a run off steal a base off Josh Ionetti. Pitch delivered. Ooh, that one looked good, but wasn't able to be hauled in by Josh Ionetti. Umpires can be tough with that sometimes, even if you don't catch that ball and it does cross over the outside edge of the plate. They're not going to give it to you if you don't catch it, which is a tough one. Time is called, I believe, by the catcher Josh Ionetti, granted by the home plate umpire. It's a 2-2 count, so a lot could be on here. Mariners try to hit and run early on in this at-bat. It was for naught. So they look to manufacture a run to get themselves back in this ballgame and capitalize on their first hit of this ballgame. Swung on and through. That's another strikeout for Muskalik, who's been so dominant so far in the start of this ballgame. One out. It's going to bring Liam Balance to the plate. Muskalik comes set. He decides to pick off at first. Nothing doing. Heck is back easily. Always good to keep those base runners honest, though. You never know what could be up. Muskalik crouches low, very akin to Boston Red Sox closer Craig Kimbrell. He delivers. It's going to be a fastball, and it's laced to second base. Caught at second. That will be a catch. Unfortunately, on the transfer, they weren't able to get it over there at first. So even though that ball did hit the ground, he did have control long enough for it to be a catch. Couldn't have the double play they so coveted. But there are two out here in the top of the fourth. It's going to be Tanner Hess coming to the plate for the Mariners. Like quite a few of his teammates, he's 0 for 1 with the strikeout this evening. Muskalik looks in and gets a sign. He comes set. First pitch curveball. Strike number one. Haven't seen that so far from Muskalik, but it's just as effective as his other offerings. Muskalik pretty much exclusively fastball. And why not? He's been so effective early on in this ball game with that exact pitch. Another curveball for strike number two. Good spot on the outside corner. Gets has to swing on through that one. And he's up 0-2. Looks in, gets a sign, comes set, delivers. Strike number 3 on the outside corner. It's a called strike. And so far, so good for Muskalik, just giving up that one hit. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th here. We'll be right back. And we're back here with some CCBC baseball. There's a 4-0 lead for the Wolfpack in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch swinging for Josh Ionetti, the Wolfpack catcher. He grounds out to third base, courtesy of a nice scoop over there at first. 1 out. The Wolfpack scored both a pair of runs in the first and second innings, who have now jumped out to a 4-0 lead. It's going to be Zach Como coming to the dish. Como singled in his only trip to the plate so far in this ball game. Brock Withrow remains on the mound for the Mariners. He's been pretty good so far in this ball game. He's able to have a tough first 2 innings, but bounce right back in the 3rd, see what he can do in the 4th. Already has that 1 out. He gets a bit of a generous call there for strike number 1. It's 1-1. We've seen the umpires have a pretty generous zone so far in this first game. Whoever's working behind the dish in game number 1 was expanding that thing all evening. It's going to be strike number 2 to Como. Neither of those 2 strikes, though, the particularly enticing variety, but now with 2 strikes, he's going to have to shorten up, try to put a ball in play. Como now fouls that ball off. Oh, that's going to hit Galloway behind the dish. He's going to take some time to shake that one off, as all respectable umpires do. They're going to walk that baseball out to Brock Withrow, and they're going to have a quick little chat to allow Galloway some time to recover. He's not looking too comfortable after that one. I can't say I blame him. I believe that foul tip got him right off the back of his hand, which can never feel good. A bit of a hush here around Norbrock as we check in on Lucas Galloway. Little coaches meeting there with him as he shakes that hand out. Even tougher when it's a cold evening like today. You kind of get some, they always say it feels like you got a swarm of bees in your hand when you get one fouling off like that. Hey, but to be a catcher, you got to be tough. And there's Galloway right back behind the dish there. Como respectful opponent, giving him some extra time. But he's going to head back into this batter's box with a 1-2 count against him. Withrow looking to put him away. Get a quick first 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Como instead is going to flare one into right field, but that's hauled in out there in right field. Out number 2. That brings Josh Hillis back to the plate for his 3rd at-bat. Remember, he singled and scored in the 1st inning. He takes a ball. That one was just a little low. 1-0 is the count. That's fastball inside from Withrow. It's a 2-0 hitter's count for the leadoff man, Josh Hillis. Hillis, very much a fixture at the top of the lineup for a Wolfpack this season. Well, it looks like a changeup, a bold pitch there from Withrow. Perfectly executed. It's 2-1 now. Still a hitter's count for Hillis. Looking to pick up his 2nd hit of the ballgame. As the wind kind of picks up here at Norbrock. Fastball on the outside corner. Not much Hillis could do with that, but now he's with a 2-strike hole, so he's going to have to shorten up, try to put a ball in play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. Brock Withrow needs a new baseball. Galloway and the home plate umpire exchange baseballs, and he has that new pearl that he wanted. Hillis readies himself. Takes a curveball in the dirt. Good block behind the plate by Galloway. But it's a 3-2 count. Withrow thrown quite a few pitches, but still no activity in the Mariners bullpen. The stretching I saw earlier perhaps was their starting pitcher from the first end of this doubleheaders game. Swung on into the gap. That's going to get down. Cut off in left field. Oh, that's going to be bobbled in left field, and Hillis jogs into second. It's going to be a single and an error as Hillis is on base for the 2nd time in this ballgame. It seemed to have some sort of English on it. To take off a little bit out there in left field is a barehanded attempt. It goes for naught. Rattles around, and the Wolfpack have a 2-out runner in scoring position. And the guy with the duties of trying to base that runner in is going to be Matt Pidlasecki. Flew out his last time up to the center fielder. Couldn't get that job done with 2 outs. So let's see what he can do here. Pidlasecki takes outside. Wolfpack looking to extend their lead in the bottom of the 4th here. Big swing from Pidlasecki. You know what? I misread my batting lineup, and that's actually the shortstop Liam Rahela at the dish, not Matt Pidlasecki. Pardon me. So it's going to be Rahela, who reached on an error but scored in the 1st inning. See what he can do here in the 4th. Withrow keeps Hillis honest at second base there. As a base runner, 2 out, you're going to score on pretty much anything, but you'd still want that big lead. A generous strike number 2 call there. Rahela is going to have to shorten up here with 2 strikes. Swung on and missed by Rahela. Big pitch there from Withrow. He gets out of that inning unscathed as well. We're going to head to the top of the 5th. It's the Wolfpack 4, the Mariners nothing here on CCBC Baseball. Bideweg leads off first. Strike number 1 for Miskalik, who's entering his 5th inning of work with a 4-0 lead. It's the DH Matt Johnson at the plate. Johnson 0 for 1 with the strikeout this evening. Pickoff attempt by Miskalik goes for naught. Johnson digs back in here against Miskalik, who gets his sign, comes set, delivers. Pitch for strike number 2. And again, it's a quick 0-2 count for Miskalik. Last time he had that, though, he gave up a base hit to right field for only the second hit of the ball game for the Mariners. Miskalik a quick pickoff move to first, but that was read easily by Bideweg, who gets in there, no problem. Mariners have tried a hit and run and a bunt and run in this ball game. Neither of them have been executed. Miskalik delivers. Great block behind the plate there by Josh Ionetti, keeping that base runner exactly where he is. So important for catchers to get down there and keep that baseball in front of them. Probably the toughest job in baseball to be a catcher. But definitely a point of pride for them. All the knocks that they pick up along the way, as we saw with Lucas Galloway of the Mariners earlier in this ball game, who took a foul ball off his hand. Miskalik pitch. That's going to be a check swing and go to the backstop. So it's a strikeout from Miskalik. And since that base was occupied, the batter runner who was at the plate, that was the DH Matt Johnson, is going to be out automatically. But Bideweg is able to trot into second base. So anytime there's 2 strikes, that ball goes to the backstop. It ends up being an out that has to be recorded at first base rather than just in the catcher's glove. But with the runner already on first base, that's an automatic second out. Miskalik picks up another strikeout. He's been so dominant so far. And speaking of catchers, it is Lucas Galloway who heads into the batter's box. Swung on and hit in the left field. It's going to bounce in front of the left fielder. Charges this one and throws to the plate. It looks good, but it's going to be a little bit too long, and that's the first run of the ball game for the Mariners, who close in and make it a 4-1 ball game. Miskalik pats his glove, but that's a good piece of hitting there by Galloway. Jumping on a first pitch fastball and lining it into left field. It was hauled in out there. But all for naught, as it was a great 2-out jump. Tough to get a guy who can get such a great jump as you can with 2 out. And it's a 4-1 ball game here. It's going to bring Tyler Ulrich, the number 9 hitter, for the Mariners up to the dish. Ulrich, who grounded up to the third baseman his last time up, takes a ball. It's now 1-0 with 2 out. Miskalik gets his sign and comes set. Has a quick look over to first, but delivers to the plate. And it's a curveball and a beauty. 1-1. He's been so effective at getting a called strike on that curveball. Not a lot of swings and misses from the Mariners. And that tells me he's doing a good job mixing it into his counts, keeping those hitters off balance. Miskalik now with a 1-1 count. Misses just low with a fastball. Seems to be a pretty routine spot where he's missing, and why not? It's a really good spot to miss. Can't really do too much damage there if you're a hitter. 2-1 count to the center fielder Galloway. Pardon me, Ulrich. And that's a check swing, but it's going to be called a swing. Can't say I disagree with home plate umpire there. And it's 2-2 with 2 out. 4-1 ball game. Pickoff move. for Miskalik, nothing doing. Miskalik now comes set. Delivers. Strike number 3, another strikeout for Miskalik, but the Mariners do get to him in the top of the 5th. It is now a 4-1 ball game. We'll be right back. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium, bringing you the matchup between the Thompson Rivers University Wolfpack and the Vancouver Island University Mariners. It's CCBC action here on this Saturday evening. Matt Pidlasecki heading to the plate, looking for his first hit of this ballgame. We're halfway through this ballgame. The Wolfpack, as Pidlasecki takes a strike for strike number 1. We're able to put up 2 runs in both the bottom of the first and bottom of the second innings, which was unmatched by the Mariners in any sort of way until the top half of this inning, where they chased one across on Tyler Miskalik, who's been absolutely lights out for the Wolfpack on the mound. Pidlasecki takes, and it's now 1-1. Brock Withrow has pitched the entirety of this ball game for the Mariners, now entering his 5th inning of work. Through those 4 innings, though, only those 4 earned runs. It's been spotless in the second and the third. This one swung on by Pidlasecki. It's going to be out and charged by the left fielder, and they're going to take charge and make that play. First out of the 5th inning. Pidlasecki seemed like he got a decent amount of that one. Wind kind of blowing across, kind of blowing it in, but on a chilly night, that's not going to go too far. And that's also going to bring the big DH, Vance Fode, to the plate. Fode already driven in a run this inning. Pardon me, this ball game. Fode, so effective in the first end of this doubleheader. Pitch from Withrow misses low and inside for ball number 1. Withrow still trying to string together a series of first pitch strikes, whereas his counterpart, Tyler Miskalik, has been so effective in that regard. Swung on by Vance Fode, and that's going to just be rolled to the second baseman, who collects, fires the first, out number 2. And that's going to bring the Winnipeg-born center fielder Adam Philman to the dish for the Wolfpack. Philman singled his last time up. He'll be looking to repeat that one. Withrow looking to pick up his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. But it's not going to happen. Oh, it will, pardon me. I thought that ball was hitting into left field, but instead it was a perfectly placed third baseman that hauls that one in. We're going to head to the top of the sixth. It is the Wolfpack 4, the Mariners 1. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium. We got a matchup between the Wolfpack and the Mariners that we're bringing to you on this Saturday evening. Some CCBC baseball. It's a 4-1 lead for those Wolfpack. Tyler Miskalik remains on the hill. And he's going to face the top of the lineup for the Mariners in their third time through the order. First pitch. He's going to miss high with the ball for ball number 1. It's going to be the center fielder Devin Heck that leads things off. Singled his last time up, the first hit allowed by Miskalik in this ball game. Miskalik takes a curveball for strike number 1. We've seen him been using more and more of those to get that first pitch strike, but the fact that we got the catcher running on out there kind of makes me think he's crossed him up on a sign there. Maybe wasn't actually calling for the curveball. So they're going to have a quick word. Our Josh Inetti and Tyler Miskalik, and they're going to be back on the same page. Probably won't even see a sign here. He's going to lean in and get the third pitch thus at bat. Heck, the batter in question is facing a 1-1 count. It's going to be another curveball, but it's going to be lined into the outfield. Ooh, a bit of miscommunication there from the Wolfpack. All in all, no worries as that's hauled in by Cole Pekin out there in right field. A little wry laugh of the second baseman. That's going to be the right fielder's ball all the way, though, folks. And with that first out, it's going to be Dylan Kirby, who heads to the dish for the Mariners. He's not alone in saying he struck out his last at-bat, as Pidlasecki has been, pardon me, not Pidlasecki. He's been absolutely dynamite. It's actually Miskalik on the mound, Tyler Miskalik. It's a curveball for strike number 2. Quick 0-2 count to Kirby. Let's see what he comes with here, 0-2. It's going to be a curveball and a good check of his swing by Dylan Kirby. They're going to check in with the first base umpire, who humors them with a non-swing call. Miskalik delivers. Gonna be fouled off. Good at bat brewing here from Dylan Kirby. It's going to become increasingly important for the Mariners to try to run up Miskalik's pitch count. So he's not showing any signs of being any less effective. Try to run that pitch count up, try to make him throw a few more pitches. Some good things might happen. He's going to do that on his own, though, and miss with the ball. It's now 2-2. Muskalik comes set. Delivers the 2-2. It's going to be in the dirt. A good block by Nettie. Goes for Nadas. It's now 3-2. The count in this ballgame. Pardon me, the count for this batter. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Another foul ball from Dylan Kirby. He's put together probably the best at bat so far here for the Mariners as he continues to foul off pitches, run up that pitch count for Tyler Muskalik, who shakes off a sign from his catcher Josh Iannetti, who then goes to the chest and face mask variety of signs. That's a good one as that ends up being strike number 3. Muskalik really had to earn that one, but he picks up another strikeout in this ballgame. He's been so effective. Now into his 6th inning of work. It's going to bring up Liam Balance to the plate for the Mariners. Lined out to the second baseman his last time up. Swung on and missed for strike number 1. Another first pitch strike from Muskalik. So effective for so many reasons. It keeps your pitch count down, keeps position players in check. You know, it's a cold evening. They're going to want to stay warm out there. The more strikes you throw, the happier they are. Speaking of strikes, he's going to pour a curveball over there for strike number 2. Balance disagrees at the plate. But that call is now set in stone. It's 0-2, 2 strikes, and 2 out on the top of the 6th. Muskalik comes set. That ball's going to stay fair. You see some chalk flying up on that one. It's going to go all the way into the wall. Balance picks up a double. He's looking for 3. But thinks better of it over there at second base. And it's going to be a 2-out, 2-strike double for the Mariners. Tough one to swallow if you're the Wolfpack. But if you're Tyler Muskalik, got to settle on in there. That was a nice piece of hitting there by Liam Balance. He had fallen down with a 2-strike count. Was able to stay on top of that one and line it over the first baseman's head. And you saw a little bit of chalk fly up there as that ball just stays alive. So let's see what the Mariners now can do with their first runner in scoring position in this ballgame. Muskalik goes back to the curveball and pours it over for strike number 1. He's done a very good job of getting those curveballs over for strikes. They've either been strikes or waste pitches, you know, one where you're kind of up early in the count. You want to just bury your curveball in the dirt, give a better, different look. He's used that pretty effectively as well. This ball's going to be fouled off. Tanner Hess is at the plate for the Mariners. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in this ballgame. Muskalik up 0-2 early. Trying to send the Wolfpack back to the batter's box. Muskalik checks the runner a 3rd time and now goes to the plate. Just fouled off by Hess. Hess never quite looking settled in the batter's box this evening. Having a tough time against Muskalik, as quite a few of his teammates have. Blocked at the plate there by Iannetti. It's a nice play. Important to keep that runner at second. Less things will score him from second than they will third. Muskalik delivers. It's going to be fouled off. No, it's going to stay fair. Fode had come off the base there at first, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Stumble a little bit there by Pekin in right field. And back-to-back doubles bring the Mariners back into this ball game. It's just 4-2, so they had moved Josh Snyder off the line at first base. He was playing in. Instead, it was Hess who just kept that ball inside the line. Great piece of hitting to put that ball all the way in the corner. Pekin chases it down, obviously for naught. So that runner with 2 outs going to score no problem on that baseball. And it's now 4-2, and this game gets a little bit more intriguing for Muskalik. Muskalik will be facing Phil Whelan in this ballgame. 0-2. Struck out in the first inning. Lined out to the left fielder his second time up, and now swings through a first pitch curveball for strike number 1. Whelan, a big chance to really bring the Mariners back into this ballgame with a base hit here. Muskalik is going to deliver a fastball and jam Whelan. It's a really nice pitch there. It's a quick 0-2 count for Muskalik. It's been so effective at getting there, but he's given up quite a few 2-strike hits. He's just missing that one more pitch to register the out. He wastes one there. No worries with that. It's 1-2. Another good block by Ionetti behind the plate. Deserves credit. 1-2, 2 out. Mariners at the plate, trailing 4-2. Fouled straight back yet again. Another good pitch. Let's see what they'll do. They seem to be working inside with a fastball and then low and away with the curveball. So we'll see what sign Josh Ionetti gives Tyler Muskalik. Phil Whelan trying to battle up there with 2 strikes. Muskalik comes set. Delivers his 1-2. Swung on and through by Whelan. It's another strikeout for Muskalik. Probably his biggest one of the evening as he pats his glove. He's through 6. It's a 4-2 lead for the Wolfpack. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium bringing you a 4-2 ball game with the Wolfpack leading over the Mariners at CCBC Baseball for you here on this Saturday evening. First batter at the bottom of the 6th is going to be Josh Snyder for the Wolfpack. Snyder. Not a bad game thus far with the walk. His last time up. Brock Withrow remains on the mound for the Mariners. Gets a foul ball after Snyder for his first pitch at the bottom of the 6th. Withrow gave up 2 runs in both the first and the bottom of the 2nd to these Wolfpack, but then has really been untouched ever since, registering no earned runs from that point on. Misses low this time as 1-1. Snyder, on the other hand, is trying to add another run to that tally, start things off with nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Wolfpack saw their lead cut in half last inning. This is now just a 4-2 ball game. It's 2-1 hitters count for Josh Snyder. He takes what looked to be a strike, but it's called a ball for a 3-1 count. I've seen that home plate umpire give that one a strike, but it's 3-1 to Snyder all the same. Swung on and hitting the gap in left field. It's a great piece of hitting by Snyder. He jumps all over that pitch and lines it into the gap. He's thinking about 3, and he stops at second base. I think that's the right decision for big Josh Snyder, but that's still a great piece of hitting. With a 3-1 count, you're really in the driver's seat as a hitter, and you can kind of elect whatever pitch you want to see and whatever you want to do with it. He gets a little bit of a fastball that was middle out. That's exactly what you should do with that pitch, lining it into the opposite gap. And it's a leadoff double from the Wolfpack. Who's looking to take advantage of that one? None other than the right fielder, Cole Pekin, who walked and scored his first time up and then absolutely ripped a ball to the third baseman his last time up. Unfortunately, it was a hit and run for the Wolfpack, and they turned it into a double play. He's going to take a first pitch strike here is Cole Pekin. Pekin in a big spot for the Wolfpack to score a run after that leadoff double. It's a good swing by Pekin, but he fouls that one off. It's a quick 0-2 hole. Pekin now as a hitter, his best option is try to hit that ball somewhere to the right side of the field. A deep fly ball or a ground ball is going to get Snyder over there to first, to third. So effective when you can get that guy over. Pekin doing a good job, continuing to foul those pitches off, down 0-2. Withrow, on the other hand, can really help himself out with a good pitch here to get Pekin. If he does so, to have that runner on second with 1 out isn't quite as dangerous as nobody. Pekin instead takes the ball high. There's now 1-2. And he does exactly that. A great piece of hitting. It's going to go all the way for a base knock. Snyder is held at third. That's exactly what you want to do. A bit of a hitting clinic there from Cole Pekin. You can see how fired up he is about that one. You're trying just to hit a ball on that right side, and the baseball gods help you out with a little base knock. So now the Wolfpack have runners on the corners with nobody out. We'll see the catcher Lucas Galloway there from the Mariners give out a piece of the signs to his infielders about where they want to do with this baseball. It's a tough spot for the Mariners to see what they can do, and they're going to have to face Josh Ionetti, who's hit a baseball hard, had nothing to show for it, and then walked his next time up. Smart to take a breaking ball with that first pitch, but a good pitch all the same from Withrow. He's up 0-1. Big, big spot here. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Withrow looking to keep himself in the ballgame. His 0-1 is swung through by Ionetti. Seemed to go again with the breaking ball, did Withrow. And it's now 0-2 again. Now Ionetti, very similar to his teammate ahead of him in the batting order, needs to be really effective here with 2 strikes. Pick off attempt by Withrow. Nothing doing over there at first. Ionetti now with an 0-2 count. Withrow's pitch. It's going to be blocked to the plate by Galloway. That's going to allow Pekin, the right fielder, to head over there to second base. So now it's an even bigger spot by Ionetti. He doesn't have to worry about a ground ball that would end up in 2 outs for his Wolfpack teammates. Instead now, he's got a lot of field to play with. Let's see how the Mariners play this. They could bring the infield in, try to cut that run down. They're going to do exactly that with 2 strikes. I think that's a smart play. still trying to understand the Mariners' defensive alignment. Now they will. The second baseman just moving a little bit over to kind of guard that hole. A lot of green there for Ionetti. He instead fouls off the pitch. That was a tough pitch. Great job to foul that one off. Rouse around the stands here at Norbrock Stadium. A late Saturday night, and the bench is still fired up for the Wolfpack. A big spot for them to blow this ball game wide open. Regain their two-run lead. Swung on up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Josh Ionetti. Here comes Polkin. He is going to score. Standing up all the same, and there it is. It's 2 RBI for Josh Ionetti. Now, I'm telling you, that's a really nice piece of hitting. He's down 0-2. Gets it to 1-2. Fouls off a couple tough pitches. One of them, the wild pitch variety, as Cole Pekin is able to head over there to second, and that opens up the holes for Josh Ionetti as he lines the ball right back up the middle. The Mariners had an active bullpen, and it looks like they're going to go to it. A slow walk there. Might be it for Withrow this evening. It will be it for Withrow this evening as he exits out of the ball game with 5 innings of work. The Mariners go to the bullpen, and we'll be right back. We're back at Norbrock Stadium, bringing you the matchup between the Wolfpack and the Mariners of CCBC Baseball. The Mariners have a new pitcher on the mound. It's going to be Nick Rowana. That closes the book on Brock Withrow. Withrow was able to get through 5 innings against these Wolfpack hitters, but he was able to surrender 6 runs on the first pitch by Rowana. Is going to go all the way to the backstop. Tough way to start things. Now the Wolfpack, another runner in scoring position with nobody out. Zach Como's job to try to drive him in. Set 2 baseballs hard this evening. He's going to try to keep that going. Rana comes set. His second pitch of the game is then fouled off by Como. Rana brings the flow a la Nola Syndergaard out there on the mound. The lanky right-hander delivers the 1-1 pitch. It's a curveball in the dirt. 2-1 to Como. Another hitter's count. Looking to see if they can just add another run. They seem likely to do so. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Fastball high. It's 3-1. Rana comes set. Delivers. Pours a cutter over there, and it's strike number 2. A 3-2 count for Como. Wolfpack doing a great job of 2-strike hitting so far. Great at-bat there by Como, down with 2 strikes, but is able to work the walk. And that brings up the top of the lineup for the Wolfpack as Josh Hillis heads back in. Hillis his 4th time to the plate. Looking to add a third base hit of the ball game. He elects to bunt. And that ball he correctly elects to pull back from, and that's going to go all the way to the backstop. It's going to be a pass ball against Galloway. Another Josh Hillis base knock, drives in 2. As those runners all move up 90 feet. The Mariners do elect to bring that infield in again. Swung on and through there by Hillis. Strike number 1. It's 1-1. Mariners, I think, the right call to bring the infield in, try to stop the bleeding, keep this game close. Hillis, though, with that drawn in infield. All the more room to try to squeak a base knock through. Hillis, a good job to take, and it's 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th here at Norbrock Stadium. It's a 6-2 lead for the Wolfpack. Swung on and through by Hillis. And now it's 2-2. Wolfpack jumped out to an early 4-0 lead that was then cut in half through 5 by the Mariners. But the Wolfpack added 2 more on. They seem to only be able to score in 2s so far. As Hillis now swings through. First time he's been recorded out in this ball game. It comes by the strikeout. It's first out of the game for Rowana. Out of the Mariners bullpen. Here's the shortstop, Liam Rahela, for the Wolfpack. Reached on air and struck out in this ball game. Rahela is now charged with trying to run those balls. Pardon me. Drive in those runners from second as a ball was delivered by Rowana. Rahela digging in. Rowana is set and delivers. Misses high for ball number 2. Riella, a great hitter's count here, 2-0. Here's teammates yelling 1 pitch. Again, looking for a pitch in a box. Probably not the one he was looking for, and I don't blame him, as Rowana paints the outside corner. Rowana now comes set. Delivers. It's popped up in the infield. Let's see if this one will stay playable. It will not. It's going to be a foul ball. And 2-2 goes the count with that foul ball. Rahela now has to battle, as so many of his Wolfpack teammates did, with 2 strikes. Rowana wants to have a look about Galloway. Have a second look over those signs. Rowana toes the rubber. Has a new sign from Galloway. So looks in for one. It's going to come set. His 2-2 is taken correctly by Real. It's going to be a 3-2 count now. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Big spot for the Wolfpack to tack on a couple more runs. Rowena delivers. Swung on by Riella. It's going to be fouled off again. A big at bat here from Riella. Doing a good job to keep things lively. Got to spoil some 2-strike pitches. Wolfpack probably would not like to leave 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. It's up to either Riella or Matt Pidlasecki, who's on deck to drive those runs in. Swung on by Riella. Right at the shortstop. Good base run in there. As Josh Ionetti is able to get back in there. Pardon me, Zach Como. So now we'll be up to the aforementioned Matt Pidlasecki. Looking for his first hit of the ballgame. Couple of flyouts thus far. Pidlasecki digs in. It's a cutter for strike 1 from Rowena. His pitches seem to have a little bit of movement onto the outside part of the plate to right-handed hitters. Pidlasecki thus swinging through it. Not quite on it. Could be a ball outside. 1-1. 1-1, 2 out, and a 6-2 ball game is the bottom of the 6th as the Wolfpack trying to tack on another run. They've already picked up 2 in the inning thus far. Swung on and fouled. This might stay alive and playable. The first baseman puts in a good charge, but it's going to fall into the stands. Pidlasecki continuing the trend of his teammates to fall behind to a 2-strike count and try to battle their way out of it. Previous 2 batters were unsuccessful in that. Pidlasecki now. As Rowena comes set. It's pitch in the dirt. Great block there by Galloway. So crucial to keep that ball in front of you. Is anything to the backstop? Let's score a run for the Wolfpack. Pidlasecki swings through, and a great job by Rowena out of the bullpen to get out of that one unscathed. It's a 6-2 ball game. Heading to the top of the 7th. We'll be right back. it's Tyler Muskalik running out there for his now 7th inning of work. He's been so effective for the Wolfpack as they take a 6-2 lead in the top of the second against their opponent, the Vancouver Island University Mariners. For those Mariners, the catcher Lucas Galloway is leading things off. Galloway has already reached twice in this ball game. Not too many of his teammates can say that. He takes the ball inside. Muskalik usually so effective in getting that first pitch over for a strike. Muskalik paints the outside corner as it's just fouled off there by Galloway. It's 1-1. The Wolfpack jumped out to a 4-0 ball game after 2 innings, with the Mariners slowly chipping away, making it 4-2 after 4.5. But the Wolfpack were able to bounce right back in the bottom half of the 6th and score 2 more runs to make it 6-2. Fastball inside from Tyler Muskalik. No action in the Wolfpack bullpen, so this will be Muskalik's inning for sure. Galloway now digs back in and swings through the 4th pitch of this at bat. It's now 2-2. Nice curveball low and outside there from Muskalik. It's been really effective, missing fastball, a curveball so far this outing. Muskalik comes set. It's going to be fouled off. Might say alive. No, it won't. It's going to fall in the Mariner bullpen. Muskalik trying to put away the catcher Galloway. It's 2-2. Fastball inside for ball number 3. Muskalik trying to win the battle. He does just that. What a fantastic curveball that was. We've seen him for the most part of this ballgame, Muskalik, working fastball, curveball, but he comes with a changeup to get Galloway for out number 1. A really effective pitch there. That brings up the DH, Matt Johnson. Johnson takes a first pitch curveball. You like to see pitchers do that sometimes. They put a guy away with a changeup and then start the next batter with a changeup. And 0-1. Really effective one there from Muskalik. Muskalik now works inside with the fastball. Aptly taken by the DH, Matt Johnson. And it's 1-1. Johnson so far 0 for 2 with 2 Ks in this ballgame. Muskalik goes back into the breaking ball. He's able to pick up a strikeout. And Muskalik is out ahead with a 1-2 count for the second batter to this top of the 7th. And he strikes him out with a curveball. Great pitch there from Muskalik. Another strikeout. And there's 2 out. It's so effective so far early on this ball game. And I, fortunately, had got myself confused in the first batter of this inning. Was Broden Bideweg, pardon me. So this is actually the catcher, Lucas Galloway, after Bideweg led off with a strikeout in this inning. So now it's 2 out. Muskalik comes set. Delivers a fastball that's fouled off for strike number 1. The catcher Galloway He's the only member of the Mariners squad to have reached twice in this ballgame. He walked his first time up and then singled his next time at the plate. Galloway swings and misses at strike number 2. Another great pitch from Miskalik. He's looking to put the Mariners away in the top half of the 7th. He's up 0-2. Miskalik now delivers a pitch that's rolled up the middle. Hauled in at second. A quick throw to first. That's a nice play to get the Wolfpack out of the top of the 7th and through 7. They lead this ball game 6-2. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium. We got some CCBC baseball coming your way on this Saturday evening. The Wolfpack, who are up 6-2 in this ball game, are going to get things going by way of the big DH, Vance Fode. So looking for his first hit of the ball game. He's going to be facing Mariners middle reliever Nick Warana, who was so effective in closing the door against the Wolfpack last inning. Striking out the last 2 batters he faced to get us here to the bottom of the 7th. Again, the Wolfpack lead this ball game 6-2. As Fode digs in against Roana. He's down, or pardon me, up 1-0. Roana then misses for ball number 2, and it's 2-0 to Vance Fode, a big hitter's count. He's looking for a pitch to drive here. Just fouls this ball off. Fode now digs back in against Roana. Still up 2-1 the count. Takes the ball outside. And Fode works a first at-bat walk to lead off the bottom of the 7th. That's going to bring Adam Philman to the plate. Philman 1 for 3 on the day, and that's also going to bring a pinch runner into this ball game. The big DH, Vance Fode, checks out. He's going to replace, just as they did in the first half of this doubleheader, by Taylor Van Ham. Pitch running now for the Wolfpack. As I mentioned, that was the exact substitution we saw in extra innings. Let's see if this substitution also brings some sort of play here from the Wolfpack. So they have a leadoff runner on first. Van Ham brings up some speed off the bench. An effective hitter, and Adam Thillman at the plate. Rowana misses up. It's ball one. Thillman things bring in against Rowana. Fouls that ball off. Ball going right through the backstop and into the crowd here. Thillman was all over that one. He's got to be feeling good if he gets another fastball and it's that bat. Instead, Rowana goes with the breaking ball and pours one over for strike number 2. 1-2. Good pitch, though, from Rowana. Let's see what Thillman can do here, down 1-2 at the plate. Rowana comes set. Delivers. They ran a hit and run there. And it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. A great throw by Galloway. Wolfpack going for the old hit and run with nobody out, and turns into a double play. Got to have it said, though, a great throw by Galloway behind the plate. So now with 2 outs, it's going to be Josh Snyder heading to the plate. Snyder has walked in this ball game and has scored in this ball game. See what he can do here with 2 out. Swing at the first pitch and fouls it straight back into Galloway. Shakes his glove out. That was a huge play by the Mariners to be able to get 2 outs with that one pitch there. Great throw by Galloway. A tough pitch for Thillman. Definitely had to swing on it with 2 strikes. Couldn't let that one go, but turns into strike him out, throw him out, double play. Rowana now misses with a second pitch to Snyder, and it's a 1-1 count. Swung on and through by Snyder. A high fastball there by Rowana. And Snyder finds himself down 1-2 in this at-bat. Rowana now comes set and delivers. Ball swung on by Snyder. Let's hit deep into center field. It's going to hang up just enough, and that ends the bottom of the 7th. Got quite a bit of it, but it's going to have nothing to score for it. It's 6-2 after 7. We're going to be right on back. We're back here at Norbrock Stadium. It's heading into the top of the 8th in this ballgame between the Wolfpack and the Mariners. Tyler Moskalik still in this ballgame delivers a first pitch strike. The number 9 hitter, Tyler Ulrich, who's 0 for 2 in this ballgame. You got to say it's been an impressive work by the Wolfpack starters in this doubleheader. Tyler Hodder in the first end of this doubleheader was able to give the Wolfpack 9 innings, which is always impressive when your starter can do that. And now, Moskalik is through 7 and starting his 8th inning of work. Ulrich swings and misses, and Moskalik is up 1-2 in this at-bat. Ulrich looking to battle. Try to get something going with the Mariners, who aren't out of this ball game just yet. Though it is getting later and later. Only have 6 outs left to play with. That's going to be a pitch in the dirt, and they're going to say that he went around. Got to say that I agree, and that's going to be out number 1. Really good play there by Nettie to keep that one in front of him. Home plate umpire, no need to go and check with his counterpart. He knows exactly that that batter swung on and through, and right, he did. Another strikeout from Moskalik, who's been so effective in this ball game thus far. That turns the lineup over for the Mariners. So leadoff hitter Devin Heck heads to the dish. Swings and misses at a first pitch curveball. Moskalik so effective, as we've seen so far in this ball game, mixing up his pitches, going fastball, changeup, curveball. That one was the first pitch curveball, and it's 0-1. As Heck looks at a strike, he is in danger of picking up his first strikeout of the ball game. Moskalik has gotten so many of his teammates thus far in this ball game that exact way. Moskalik comes set. His 0-2 is fouled off. A nice piece of hitting there by Heck to stay alive. Moskalik goes inside with the fastball, try to jam him. Moskalik delivers the 0-2. That one's a fastball that misses high, and it's now 1-2 with 1 out here, the top of the 8th. Moskalik comes set, delivers. Fouled off again by Devin Heck, doing exactly what you want a leadoff hitter to do, to foul off a bunch of tough pitches, try to run that pitch count up. Moskalik showing no signs of slowing down. But there is some extremely minor activity going on in the Wolfpack bullpen. Moskalik comes set. He delivers a fastball on the inside half, and they're going to strike him out. Heck has a long look at the umpire, but that's going to be strike number 3. Another strikeout for Moskalik, this one of the looking variety. And you got to say, sometimes umpires are human, too. It's been a long day of baseball today with the first end of this doubleheader going in to extra innings. We got a pinch hitter in this ball game. It's going to be Jacob Holinati heading into the ball game. Holinati takes a strike on the inside half. Holinati entering this ball game in the spot of Kirby Dillon. You got it. Holinati, an outfielder, pinch hitting for the first baseman, Dylan Kirby. So that's going to be a different look on defense for the Mariners. But while they're on offense, they're down 0-2 with 2 outs in this top of the 8th as Moskalik tasked with taking on the cold Holinati, who just entered into the ballgame. It might have been a make-up call for the pitch to the previous batter that was generously given for strike 3. I was just about ready to ring him up, but instead he's got a 1-2 count that he has to face with. Moz paints the outside corner. That's another strike. It was a drop pitch, but we're going to throw that one over to first, and that is it for the top of the 8th. We're going to head to the bottom of the 8th right after this. And we're back here at Norbrock Stadium. We're bringing you the bottom of the 8th between the Wolfpack and the Mariners. It's a 6-2 lead that the Wolfpack are working with. It's going to be Cole Pekin, the right fielder, that digs on in for the Wolfpack. He scored 2 runs in this ball game, looking to make it 3. Instead, takes a fastball from Morana, who's been pretty effective out of the bullpen for the Mariners. Coming in for Brock Withrow, who gave them 5. Swung on by Pekin. That's going to drop in the gap. It's going to be extra bases. Pekin rounds first hard and eases into second with the double. That's a leadoff double for Cole Pekin. Wolfpack. Well, this ball's going to be thrown in and not corralled by anybody. Nobody's actually covering the plate, but Pekin will just hold right there at third. So that ball was laced into the gap by Cole Pekin, chased on down by the center fielder. And as that ball came in, it was easily corralled by the second baseman. Everybody thought the play was dead, including the pitcher Nick Rowana, who was unaware that his middle infielder was trying to return that baseball to him, and it was sailed right over his head, allowing Pekin to trot over to third on the air. So now it's up to Josh Ionetti, who now has one of his teammates at third base with nobody out. An RBI situation for the catcher. He takes a breaking pitch for strike number 1. Ionetti's 1 for 2 with a walk in this ballgame. Run scored. They're going to pick up his first RBI of the ballgame. He's done a really good job behind the plate today. The Wolfpack only giving up 2 earned runs. He's got a lot of pitches to call from Muskalik, who has been absolutely electric on the mound for the Wolfpack, it has to be said. So now it looks like a little bit of insurance for the Wolfpack. Another breaking pitch there from Ionetti. He takes it. It's a strikeout for Rowana. Really smart idea to go with the breaking pitch there. Completely freezes Ionetti. And that's going to send the shortstop, Zach Como, up to the plate. Como is also 1 for 2 in this ballgame, looking to pick up his first RBI. Como digs in against Nick Rowana. Rowana breaks his bat, and that bat goes even farther than the ball. It's corralled by the shortstop. That's going to be an RBI, and as they say, that bat died a hero. Anytime your bat breaks but you pick up an RBI, you'll take that trade. Como looks none too happy about it, but that's going to feel better tomorrow than it does right now. But it is an RBI and a 7-2 lead for the Wolfpack. They're going to turn their lineup over, and it's going to be the leadoff hitter Josh Hillis with a pair of base hits in this ball game, heading to the plate, looking to make it 3. struck out his last time up against Rowena. Nice piece of hitting there by Como just to get the job done. Hillis takes a cutter for ball one. Rowena seems to have quite a few pitches in his arsenal. You've seen some changeups, seen some cutters, seen a more straight fastball as well as another curveball. We'll see where he throws Hillis with a 1-0 count. It's going to be a fastball that Hillis swings on through. 1-1. Hillis takes a lap around the batter's box, settles himself back in. With this 1-1 pitch from Rowena. Swung on and popped up. Could be playable for the catcher. Instead, it's going to roll all the way and rattle off the roof here at Norbrock Stadium. And a 1-2 count for Rowena as he faces the leadoff hitter, Josh Hillis of the Wolfpack. Trying to get something going with 2 out. Says the curveball. Tough call. Quite a few Mariners players had started running off the field after that one. I can't say I blame them, especially on a chilly night like today. Hillis takes a ball high. Another good pitch there from Rowena. That one misses just up. Josh Hillis swings and fouls this ball off. A 3-2 count with 2 out, and the Wolfpack leading this ball game 7-2. Mariners trying to close this inning off, give themselves a chance to win at the top of the ninth. Fouled straight back, another foul ball from Hillis, who's making Rowena really work for this one. Rowena seems all too interested in battling against Hillis, not giving in. Rowena sets his 3-2. Swung on by Hillis. That's going to flare itself into right field. It's a base hit for Hillis, his 3rd of the evening. This one in the hard-earned variety. Had to foul off quite a few tough pitches to get himself into that spot. But there he is, the 3rd base hit of the game. And in the bottom of the 8th, the Wolfpack has something cooking here with 2 out. It's going to bring up Liam Rahela into the ball game. 2 strikeouts in his last 2 at-bats, trying to get something else going for himself here. Perhaps build some momentum to take into tomorrow's rematch doubleheader between these 2 ball clubs. First pitch fastball from Rowena. Pretty much a perfect pitch. Nothing that Rahela could do with that one. Rowena comes set. Throws a cutter Rahela's way, but misses. And it's 1-1. Rowena's 1-1 is in the dirt. Galloway can't pick it. And that's going to allow Hillis to jog into second. Mariners going to pick up a new baseball for themselves here, as Galloway throws that one back. Here's Liam Riella. He's got a 2-1 count to work with. Nick Rowena on the mound for the Mariners. Rowena comes set and delivers his 2-1. It's going to be another fastball that's low, again corralled by Galloway. Rowena got to get back to throwing strikes here. 2 out base runner for the Wolfpack. They're trying to drive him in and grow their lead to 6. Ooh, a great piece of base running by Hillis and an even better pickup by the shortstop. And it's a 6-3 to end the bottom of the 8th. The Wolfpack going to try to close this one out on the top of the 9th when we get back. And we're back here at Norbrock Stadium. We're in the top of the ninth with the Wolfpack, a 7-2 advantage over the VIBI Mariners. Tyler Moskalik working on a complete game here if he can get through this ninth inning with 3 outs. His first pitch to Liam Balance, who's leading things off for the Mariners, is a ball that missed. So 1-0 count to Balance, who doubled and scored his last time up. Moskalik now comes set and delivers. Swung on and missed by Balance. And Moskalik is now ahead in this count. Or pardon me, he just tied it up. Balance steps back in. Moskalik gets a sign from Ionetti and comes set. His 1-1. It's going to be a fastball on the inside part of the plate. It's ball number 2. Moskalik into the second inning, or pardon me, into his 9th inning, but he's the second Wolfpack pitcher of the day to do that, as his teammate Tyler Hodder did that in the first end of this doubleheader. It was the Wolfpack who beat the first place Mariners in that end. Moskalik now comes with the breaking ball. It's a good decision as it's fouled straight back, and he's back in this count. It's 2-2. Moskalik looking to add to his double-digit strikeout category so far this evening. He's been so effective at striking out these Mariner batters. Moskalik comes set. It's going to be rolled foul by Balance, who's just trying to stay alive. A tough pitch there by Moskalik. Moskalik gets a sign. Comes set. His 2-2. Swung on and missed by Balance. First out of the inning. And again, added to the double-digit strikeout category of Taylor Moskalik, who's been so effective so far in this ballgame. Liam Balance's strikeout brings up Tanner Hess, who hasn't had any sort of success against Moskalik this evening. Moskalik comes set and delivers. It's going to be a first pitch ball to Hess. Hess in good company with his teammates, as Moskalik had been so effective this evening. Time is called behind the plate. Prolonging proceedings here at Norbrock Stadium. It was a Wolfpack who got out to a 4-0 lead after the first 2 innings of this ball game. Game kind of stagnated until later on as an easy strike call there for Moskalik goes around. You can see Hess shaking his head. Like I said, the game kind of stagnated until about the 5th inning, where the Wolfpack were able to grow their lead. It was then the Mariners who came back with 2 to make things interesting, but the Wolfpack have been able to hold on. They're looking to put this one away. We're getting into a situation where it's a little bit of anything will do for a strike from our home plate umpire. It is a chilly night here at Norbrock Stadium. Second end of a doubleheader where the first game went 10 innings. Moskalik comes set. Strike 3. And Moskalik keeps on rolling. The Wolfpack are 1 out away from sweeping this doubleheader against the CCBC leading Vancouver Island Mariners. We've got a pinch hitter coming up. And it's going to be Connor Bronson who enters the game. Bronson, a left-hander, giving it a different look. Moskalinsky, can't say I blame him for taking that first pitch he sees in the ballgame from a pitcher who's been so effective so far this evening. Moskalik comes inside on his 0-1. It's going to be a 1-1 count to the pinch hitter Bronson. Moskalik looking to pick up the complete game for the Wolfpack. A check swing. They're going to check it with the third base umpire who says he didn't go, much to the chagrin here of the Wolfpack fans at Norbrock Stadium. So now Bronson's back in the count. It's a 2-1 hitter's count for the pinch hitter. Left-hander. Moskalik comes set and delivers his 2-1. They're going to check again, but he did not as well. That one a little bit more clear than the previous one. And now it's a 3-1 count for Moskalik, who probably doesn't want to walk a guy. Up 5 with 2 out in the ninth. So instead he pounds a fastball down and inside. A great pitch there. And we are 1 strikeout away from a Wolfpack winner here on the Saturday night. Fans getting pumped up here at Norbrock Stadium looking for a doubleheader sweep. It's Moskalik that comes set. Paints the outside corner. Hey, I'm going to lose my bias here. And you got to punch him out for strike number 3. But instead, they give him the walk. And it's a 2-out walk for the Mariners, who just sort of prolong the inevitable at this point. It's now Tanner Hess who heads into the ballgame. Pardon me, Broden Badaweg. I skipped over him again, but it's going to be Broden Badaweg who checks into this ballgame. Badaweg, a pair of strikeouts, sandwiching a base hit in this ballgame. Swings and misses at a strike. Moskalik looking to put this one away. Moskalik comes set. His 0-1. Swung on and hit into right field. Pekin racing back. It's going to be over his head. Bronson's going to get on his horse. He's going to score from first. No action in the Wolfpack bullpen, so that's not going to chase Moskalik. That's not going to make it feel any better, though, as he gets another run added to his tally. And it's a really nice swing there from Tanner Hess, who puts that ball over Cole Pekin's head. And it is a 7-3 ball game with 2 outs here. Moskalik, who's been an absolute workhorse in this ballgame, is still trying to get his last out. Looking all the same in terms of effectiveness, though, as that first pitch is poured over on the outside corner for strike number 1. His 0-1 is low. It's a DH Matt Johnson that's in the game for the Mariners. Johnson has a hat trick tonight, 3 strikeouts. Moskalik trying to add 1 more to that tally as he now falls behind in the count and takes some time to regroup. He's down 2-1. I'm just hearing that Moskalik that's his 135th pitch of the ball game. And folks, all I'm going to say is that's a lot. Go through 9 innings, he's got 135 under his belt. An extremely, extremely impressive performance by Tyler Moskalik. A steal attempt, and that ball's going to go into left field. I ended up electing to throw that baseball. And kind of worst nightmare situation for that ball to go into left field. It's 136 pitches from Tyler Moskalik. Again, no action in the Wolfpack bullpen. So on that walk, stolen base and error, it is now a 7-4 ball game. And the Mariners have a runner on first. Still 2 out, however. In the tough spot here with 2 out, trying to keep this ball game. We'll be charged with the catcher Lucas Galloway, who's walked, singled, and grounded out as a second baseman so far in this ballgame. Swung on and hit deep center field. Philman's going to hang underneath it. And that will be it. It's a doubleheader sweep for the Wolfpack. They take 2 games off the CCBC, leading VIBI Mariners. The second one 7-4 on the heels of an impressive pitching performance by Tyler Moskalik. These 2 teams will be right back here at Norbrock Stadium tomorrow. The first pitch will go at 10 a.m. We'll see you then. Good night.